there. Oh, sorry guys. I am sitting here in Washington waiting to deliver a Walmart load. So I'm going to have about an hour we can do this live on. Hope everything's going great out there. Let me let my brother know. Okay, who all do we got in here? Oh, by the way, guys, I hit 5,000 subscribers last night. Was so excited. I know that's not a great big channel. There's a lot bigger channels out there. But I'm really grateful. And thank you, each and every one of you, for helping make that possible. Because like I said, I just started this channel to let my family know that I was what I was doing on my journey. Keep sunny side up and grease side down. Be safe out there. Oh, you are so sweet. Thanks, Ben. Hey, Lugnut, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, can y'all give me a thumbs up? Let me know you're in here and leave in the comments where you're coming at me from. I'd really appreciate it. Just letting a few people know that I'm on live that asked me to. Okay, guys. Hope everyone's doing great out there. Like I said, I'm just sitting here waiting to deliver a load and decided to go ahead and get my live out of the way because I'm kind of beat. Florida, nice. I love Florida. I'm looking forward to developing that property I have in Florida. I know, I can't believe it's Wednesday already, guys. It flies by so fast. Hey, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you. Oh, well, it's good to see you too, sweetheart. Curtis, I think that says. Charlie from Connecticut. Former trucker, now school bus driver. Oh, nice. You know, hey guys, and I wanted to talk to you about this, see what you guys think. I am thinking, because I'm having to take for personal reasons, I'm not going to be switching over to RV transport just yet. I am definitely going to be doing it. But my truck is going to reach the halfway point, this big rig, in a few months of being halfway paid off. I cannot believe that. By spring it will. I'm thinking of using this truck in RV transport and keeping my new 1-ton dually as a backup. Sitting here in Michigan, right? Because it really kind of chaps my ass. I got a ton of money in this truck to walk away from it when it's almost halfway paid for. What do y'all think? Well, good evening, Bobby. How you doing, my dear? Oh, thanks for the heart. Morano, Ohio here. Hey, coming at me from Ohio, huh? I lived briefly in just a little suburb outside of Cleveland. I don't even remember the name. It was back in the early 80s. I followed a boy there, or a man there, you know, as a young girl at the time. I think I was 18. And it didn't last. But, yeah, I think Ohio is a beautiful state. I just don't like running that part of the country because there's just, for truckers, there's not a whole lot of parking. Just like in Cali. Yeah, but we do have more in California than a lot of the Northeast. But it was hard. And it seems like the infrastructure there is just not set up for our size trailers and trucks and stuff. Yeah. Hey, TK. Yes, I caught you this week. Oh, well, awesome, sweetheart. I'm glad you caught me. So, what do you guys think? I just hate to think that I got this almost halfway paid for. By spring, it will be. I don't even have 200,000 miles on this truck. By the time I pay it off, I'll be able to pay it off in the spring if I save that money to pay it off. Or I could pay it off a year and a half. And I just hate to leave something like this. Just give it back to Prime with all the money I put down, everything I got in this truck. And it's a good truck. And when I found out I can take this over to an RV transport company, it even made that decision a little more attractive to me. Because that is truly the way I'm going. I will be going into RV transport. I am definitely going to RV tech school. But I really like having my big rig. Hey, my sister's in the house. Say hi to Suzanne, guys. Roman, have a good night. Time to start driving. I hear you, sweetheart. Headed to Oxford, Alabama. Ugh. Sorry, darling. Well, you have a safe trip, my friend. Keep the shiny side up and the rubber on the road. All my truckers and truckers out there, wish you luck and safe journeys. But, hey, is my brother Mad Ray in here? Hey, y'all, I got over 20 people in here. Can every one of you just hit that thumbs up button for me and let that jump up there? My brother said, hey, my sexy Suzanne. He's making sure he leaves that stamp on her. But hey, that's my wife, y'all. Don't even mess with it. Right? But no, I enjoy my truck. I love my truck. Raymond says, hello, Suzanne. Oh, look, these two are sitting in the same house, going on here, giving this lovey-dovey talk shit. David, how you doing, sweetheart? RV transport is a pretty good deal. That's awesome, thanks. Yeah, I love RV transport. I really want to get into that. But that being said, if I can take my big rig over and do it, and keep my 1 ton as a backup, because if something like this breaks down and I got to get this big rig worked on, I don't have a loaner truck. So I don't regret buying my 1 ton dually, but I don't think I'm going to fit it out unless I leave. Unless I leave before this truck's paid off. I don't think I'm going to do a bed delete package on it, because I want to be able to put like those flatbed campers on it that are made for flatbeds. They're a lot more roomy. They're just really nice. And if I do a bed delete, I can't do that. But I can haul singles and not multiples. So, I'm going to be inviting Brad. I invited him, Bradley, on here. Brad, I think it's Brad, from Dually Depot. And for those of you who are really interested in fitting out your trucks for hauling and stuff, I mean, this man really knows his business. He's tied in with all the major RV haulers. He could help you get your trucks fitted out. He could even get it financed. All the stuff you want to do to get your truck out there and start turning, burning, and earning. So if y'all are interested, he's the guy we're going to have to talk to. Yeah, it's Brad at Dually Depot. So y'all really might want to check him out and talk to him. He used to be a recruiter for some of these companies. He used to be a big rig driver, so he understands us. I mean, and he is tied into all these companies, and he's been an RV hauler. Hey, David. That would be a good deal if they would let you do that. Yeah, they will. Horizon, who I'm wanting to work for, when I was busy putting in my application, I saw that I can bring a big rig over and use it for it. And if I want to like do a only haul doubles, you know, 2 trailers on, have a haul a trailer with 2 travel trailers set on it, because I don't want a 53-foot depth. I don't want it. I want something smaller. Are you staying? Yes, I am staying with Prime until I move over to RV transport. I don't see the sense in, I'm not a job hopper, and most likely when I go over to Horizon or Wave Express, whichever one I land at, I'm really leaning towards Horizon. I'll stay with them for the rest of my career. I'll probably do it part-time for years to come, along with repairing RVs, and then, you know, also, because this is also going to allow me to be out for 10 days, be home for 10 days, go between my homesteads in Florida, the 2 I'm going to have in Arizona, unless instead in northern Arizona I do one in Alaska, one in Arizona, and one in Florida. You know, and I think when you're prepping and you're preparing, you really need more than one spot. Will you have your truck paid off? Yes, this truck will be paid off then, and I might stay an extra like 4 months after this truck's paid off and pay off my dually also. Then the only thing I'll have left is my mortgage, which I'm going to pay off within a year after that, because part of being into the prepping lifestyle and homesteading lifestyle, debt free. And I will never finance another piece of property again. I'll pay for it cash. If you kept your Volvo, you will always have a job to fall back on. Well, anyone who worked for moving RVs. Yeah, I was hoping Brad was going to be on here tonight and he could talk to y'all about it. But yeah, if you go back and look at the nomadic couples old stuff, how I got to watching them years ago was they were into RV transport, and I've met a lot of people in RV transport, and the best companies I've heard about have been Horizon, Wave Express, Synergy, but I'm really leaning heavy towards Horizon. There's a few things I've heard that, you know, but every company has their little quirks. So, but Horizon's family owned, so's Wave Express, same family, different people in the family own it. But the thing I like about Horizon is they do go to Alaska a lot, and I have lots of friends in Alaska. I lived there for years in North Pole. So I really want to be able to go up there, and also when it comes to just the pay, everything, I really like Horizon. They got okay fuel discounts. I heard Indiana Transport has better fuel discounts, but they don't pay as well. So let me see. Heard the same thing. Okay, well, I missed something, y'all. Okay, Lugnut, where are you, sweetheart? What was your Lugnut? Heard the same thing, Lugnut. You have more freedom doing that. I would have a lot more freedom, because I could run 10 days, take off 10 days, run 10 days, and make at least, hauling multiples, make at least $20,000 a month. You know, well, 15 to 20, I'm guessing, take home. I know people doing singles, running 30 days and taking about 5 days off doing singles, and their take home is around 16 grand. That's a nice chunk of change. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fuss about that, but my passion is the RV industry, is nomadic living, homesteading, prepping, and I think a good prep is an RV, plus multiple homesteads. And I'm not talking really decked out. I'm talking you fix them up, you have off-grid power, water, ways to survive. You never know if something ever happens, what part of the country we're going to need to be in, and everyone else is going to suck. David, do you want is RV transport really is that good? Just a second. Let me try to get a hold of Brad, and let's see if he answers. He might be like, Chick, you're putting off coming over there. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Just a second, guys. He might be in a meeting. He might be asleep. He might be working. It looks like he is busy, guys. I will try to set up with Brad and get him to come over and talk with all of us. But yes, there is a lot of money in RV transport. I mean, oodles of money. Okay, think about it this way. And the reason using a one-ton was so attractive is my weekly output would be less. But when you got a one-ton hauling multiples, like more than a couple RVs on a flatbed, your gas mileage goes way down. But when you're just hauling something as light as a couple RVs on a shorter trailer, our gas mileage goes way up in these. So I could easily get 12, 13 miles to the gallon in my Volvo with that kind of light load. Now, in my one-ton dually, I'm going to get about 10 miles to the gallon. But when right now I'm paying $1,400 a week payment on this truck. That is not counting my insurance. That's not counting anything else. So when I take this truck, I have it paid off in less than 2 years. This truck is paid for. Totally, I will know a dime on it. And I take this truck over to RV transport. I won't have a truck payment. My insurance payments are going to be the same. Now I'll have to pay bobtail on this, which I'll probably end up spending about $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever, because I'll be going through Horizon on different things like that. So, you know, my expenses will be very similar to my one-ton dually. Now, you're looking at anywhere from, for hauling 2 travel trailers, you're looking at $265 a mile. Every time. Unless you're going into Canada or Alaska, then it goes way up. Now, if you're hauling triples, you're looking at a minimum of $3 a mile. And then your back hauls. You get back hauls when you haul multiples because you have a trailer. They could be either hauling back cars, or you could be hauling back RVs back to Elkhart that are buybacks or something like that. So, you know, you have a lot more opportunity in multiples. Maybe my midlife crisis idea, right? Hey, I'm at that age. It's time for me to have a midlife crisis. But I had a midlife facelift, which I don't know if I'm really happy. I think I'm going to go in and have them just a little, you know, and I don't know. Let's see, just insane high. Oh, okay. We are doing really great. How are you doing, darling? Is that Slinky24, I think the name is? I think I break these out. But, no, I'm really excited about the RV transport thing. But the other thing I'm thinking, if I end up staying with Prime to pay off my truck, I am thinking of taking another student. I'm not sure yet. I've been talking to my mom about it, but I haven't, and I've mentioned it slightly to Mary, but it would have to be financially worth it, because I love being on my truck by myself. Lugnut, I used to hot shot years ago, and my opinion is semis are just a lot more. yes, that's why I am thinking of taking my semi over there because, you know, when you have that light of loads, your fuel economy is a lot different. But I do need to have my 1-ton truck ready to haul singles. Plus, you know, I'm going to also be buying a fifth wheel and a flatbed camper for it. Midlife crisis is riding a Harley. Nice. David's midlife crisis is going to be riding a Harley. Honey, you don't got to wait for that midlife to do that crap. TD, you're fine just the way you... Oh, honey, you're so sweet. Lugnut, I hear you here. Yeah, Lugnut said he hears you, Dave. But, so, for me, because y'all have seen the tour videos of my truck and stuff, this thing is gorgeous. She is a beauty. The Pearl is beautiful. We're sitting here at my dining room table. My bed's upstairs. I can cook on this truck. I can do my art on this truck. It's just super comfortable. I think these trucks are too small for 2 people. Just is. It's just, that's why if I take another student, it's going to have to be very profitable. You know, I trained before because I love training. But this time it's going to have to be for money. Plus, I'll enjoy helping someone get their start. And if the money is there, I will turn around and not take one over the winter because that's just taking your life way too much into your hands. I'll stick my... Not a fan of many Harley rides. Oh, TD, be careful. People are Harley fans. It's un-American not to be. I love Harleys. I think Harleys are like a work of art. I like Indians also. But, you know, I'm a Can-Am Spider girl. But now if I could get a good Harley trike, oh my God, that would be sweet. But, yeah, so now as far as vehicles, what is y'all's dream classic vehicle? Mine is the 65 Mustang convertible. Candy apple red, red and white pony interior, white rag top. Indians are made in America too. Yes, they're made in America. Score. I love Indians. Everyone have a safe night. How are you leaving us? Grocery delivery. But now, what is your favorite classic car? 1932 Zeppelin. 1970. Oh, I love it. My favorite Chevy Nova is the Bicentennial Edition one. That thing is badass. My older brother used to have one, James, and it was his first car. And I remember he would take me riding around with him in it. We'd be listening to REO, Styx, Journey's Escape. I mean, it was badass. 1966 Chevy, too nice. 71. Okay, 440 6-pack, nice. Hey, looking good, still happy at Prime. I want to get my truck paid off before I leave Prime and take it with me into RV transport. I'm happy with my dispatcher. I'm happy with my finance lady. Prime has a lot of pluses, and they also have minuses. I mean, just like Swift does, just like OTRX, my nephew's company he's with, it's a really good company. There's a lot of good companies out there, but I'm still with Prime because I own the Pearl. Um, the money has not been good lately, but it's starting to pick up. But we'll just have to see. Oh yes, a '69 GTO. Yes, hell yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yo, no matter where you work, it's just trucking companies. It's what? Exactly. And that's another thing. I do not want to live to work. I want to work where I can go out and live. And right now at Prime, I feel like I'm living to work. But when this truck's paid for, and I have this to take into RV transport, I'm only going to be gone from home 10 days at a time, but I'm going to be a hell of a lot more comfortable. And I'll feel secure knowing I have my dually in case something happens to this. I still have an income coming in. Plus, they'll both be paid for. Have a good night, beautiful lady. Oh, David, you're so sweet. Gotta work tomorrow. Stay sexy. Oh, honey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You too, David. Be careful. Take care of yourself, okay? But, no, I really... Prime's just one of those things that I enjoy. Prime has done a lot for me, don't get me wrong. I have accomplished so much since I've been at Prime. But the culture we used to have at Prime is no longer. I mean, we still have a lot of the same people, and I love them to death. But then it's just not the same as what it was, if that makes sense. But I do want to get my truck paid off, and I've heard now that new truck payments, just the base payments, like over $1,500 now, and that is ridiculous. A week, that is a lot of damn money. I want to get the Pearl paid for, and oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about that 5,000 subs, guys. And that's all thanks to you guys. I'm over 5,000 subs. It hit last night. I sent my brother a text, everything, saying, y'all, guess what? 5,000 subs. Now my next big goal is 10,000 subs. Let me see. I'll show y'all. I even screenshotted it. 5,000 subs. It was nice, and now it's more than that, but it felt good. It was like a goal. It was nice to achieve that. I really want to build this channel up to being something special. And I'm going to be starting a couple other channels, like on my homesteading and prepping. But this is going to stay a trucker-based channel. After I get through RV Tech School, we're going to be starting another channel, Asking RV Tech. But this one will always be on either the RV transport, trucking, that type of thing, and things that are related to truckers. And that's what these lives will remain. Oh hell, I've got a lot. I've got like subscribers. You got what subscribers, sweetie? Oh, you got more subscribers than me? Is that what you're saying? Oh, 8. Oh, you'll get more. You will get more. Let me see. Just a second. Just a second. Huh. What kind of content do you have on your channel? Hey, hot mama. Oh, yo, mama. That is so sweet. I was expected by Horizon Transport for or drive away. Awesome! Then they said, sorry, we don't hire anyone from California. Oh, well, that sucks. You know, you can also transfer your license to another state. Because, yeah, that really sucks. Just up from when I was in college. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of trucking companies don't hire 1099 employees from California because there's just so much bullshit going on in that crappy ass state. What do? You know, it's just one of those things that it's a headache. Unfortunately, and I love California. I'm from California, but it's not friendly for people that are in these deals. Washington is the same way. No, I don't think Washington's on the list. I think if you're in Washington, you can get on at Horizon. Now I have to look for RV transport places in California found transport routes. Just change your license out of California. Screw that. Because that's making it where these companies that will hire you, for one thing, you'll be a company employee. You won't be making near the money for the same amount of work. And so California's claiming, oh, we're doing this for the workers. But it's not for the workers because it's not helping the workers. Please get into office, Donald Trump. This isn't a political channel. Vote for Trump. I mean, not that I'm telling you to vote for Trump, but vote for Trump. Hey, it is really going to help the truckers and help the American workers. That's my opinion, and that's all I'll say on it. You've got a fireplace in your... Yes, I got a fireplace in my truck. Too hot. Battery poker, LOL. How do you change your life? Okay, do you have... you got to have someone who lives in another state, a relative or a friend. Maybe have your cell phone bill sent there along with another bill. Now, if you're going to do it, look for, hopefully, maybe you have a relative in Texas or one in Florida because there's no state income tax, or someone in Alaska. Then you go down to you just go down to the DMV with a bill, have them write, if it's a family member you're living with, have them write up a lease for you, even though it's just a lease, you know, saying that you live there, and also having a couple pieces of mail, and then go in and change your license to that state. It's really easy. Down girl, let me see. Down girl, what you gonna do with that awesome truck now that you are I'm gonna keep the truck. This truck, that's what I'm saying. Most likely I'm going to be staying at Prime until this truck's paid for. And then I'll also have my 1-ton dually. I'm going to use this in RV transport. Unless things go to hell in a handbasket at Prime to where I can't make my bills, then I will have to figure something else out. I'm hoping I can build up my YouTube channel enough to help offset those bills. My relatives are in Florida. Okay, Florida. Then see if you got one in Florida that can help you get set up there. Because Florida and Texas both don't have a state income tax, and you're going to save money there. Did you see all those Prime drivers on Bonehead Truckers last week? No, I haven't. I don't watch many trucking channels. I know that's awful. Now, I do watch Asian Mai now and then. mother trucker. He identifies as a mother trucker. That's okay. It doesn't bother me. It's like saying motherfucker. You know, I mean, it's a play on words. So, Mama, you are going to stay at Prime it won't take 2 years to get this paid off. I'll have it paid off in under 2 years. But yes, if things are okay, but I still have my 1-ton dually if things go to hell in a handbasket here. So, it just makes more sense to have Asian Mai talks about the same crap all the time. Yeah, but you know, thing about Asian Mai Mother Trucker, he talks about a lot of things that are affecting truckers in the news, and when something bad happens to a trucker, and I like that. Where eventually I want to get, when I have time and I'm not out all the time, I want to start giving out weather reports when bad storms are rolling in, closures, road closures, anything newsworthy that affects truckers. It's kind of one of the areas I'm moving to with my channel. Also, I want to start interviewing people maybe that are with investment brokerages, where we can invest our money as owner-ops and lease-ops, ways to grow our retirement, and medical, insurance, things like that. Because I find that to be, you know, something that we need. I mean, this is nice. I love being able to talk to y'all and hang out with y'all, but I'd like to bring y'all a lot more content about other employers, other lease opportunities, companies that help finance new truckers going out on their own authority. And there's a company in Springfield that it's like $600. And this company will get you out, do the paperwork to get you on your own authority. And they're also an insurance company. And I was looking at that. When Asian Mai interviews the CEO of Swift Knight, he didn't ask the hard questions. No, and that's just it. You need to ask the hard questions. I mean, you need to soft pedal some, or they're never going to sit down with you. But you also have to ask the difficult questions. You cannot just butter it up, you know. And I've talked to Prime about this. I said, you know, I don't just tell them the good things. I say the shitty things that happen. I go, if you guys want me to be one of those channels that's just going to be, oh, Prime, I'm not a Prime channel. And Prime told me, you say whatever you want on your channel. We're fine with it. You know, but I know some people won't go after him real hard. It's like when Asian Mai interviewed Kirsty from Trucking Along with Kirsty. He practically sucked her clit. I mean, just, you know, I was like, really, dude? But, you know, the thing is I really have a lot of respect for Kirsty. You know, but he did kiss her ass. There was not a hard question. I mean, he was building her up to be more than she was, and she had to keep correcting him. No, it's not all like that, like best-selling author and shit like this. She goes, no. That ain't right. So, you know, but I understand that he wants to be able to get people to interview. But that's just not how you go about it. But I really have a lot of respect for him, Asian Mai. Mother Trucker. You know, however he spells it. You know what I'm saying. You sound so naughty. Me naughty? No. I'm a good girl. I am. I'm innocent. Until proven a slut. I'm just kidding. I'm not a slut. Not at all. But, you know, I really enjoy trucking. I really do. I just need to make it work for me better. And being out and like I am now, it makes it really hard to build up the homestead in Florida, my little urban homestead in Arizona. And the great thing about RV transport, I could be building something in Alaska in an area where I don't have to pay any property taxes, true property ownership. It could be sitting there forever, put up a little dry cabin, set up a little solar system, generator house, things like that. And I'll see it a couple times a year. But if something happens in the lower 48, like when we had the pandemic, it would have been great to go up to Alaska, get up there, and be away from anyone and everything on property that's not hooked to the grid at all. If we ever had an invasion come over our borders, I could go up there. No one would ever find me. But if I'm ever closer to the Florida property when something goes down, I can go there. None of these properties are like high dollar properties. My sister's one home's worth more than my properties by probably 10 times. All my properties. But she only has the one home. If something ever happens, what are you going to do? You know, it's just one of those things, but that's just how I think. And as a trucker, I could fill this tank maybe twice and get anywhere. Sounds like you have many avenues you can go. Yeah, there is a lot of different places that I'm setting up for me to go to. And the great thing about RV transport, it's going to allow me to go these different places and work on my different deals. And those will be for, the Prepsteader channel, Prepping Homesteader. That's going to be another channel I'm opening up. And, you know, that'll be for people that are into that. This is my trucking channel. In training, when a student is learning driving, how long does the trainer set up front? Sometimes not at all that day. You get them going and that's it. It depends on where you're going. It's like this. Okay, when the student gets on my truck, he's got a brand new CDL. He's probably not driven more than 10 miles. He's past what he needs to do to qualify for his CDL. So sometimes the CDL instructors will take them on a day trip and they'll end up going a couple hundred miles. But they really don't know how to descend a mountain, except for in theory. They don't know how to really work through traffic. They don't, there's a lot. So when a student first gets on my truck, we go down the road and drive solo. I'll drive some, I'll put them behind the wheel a few hours. And, depending on weather conditions, depending on how comfortable they are, some come on here with a little more experience than others, like they pulled horse trailers or RVs or whatever. And so it's not that big of a deal. But, I've got to teach them how to take a hill. I've got to teach them how to. So, if we're just let's say we're leaving Missouri. Let's say I put you up in Missouri. I'm going to drive with you that first day. The next day, we'll both get sleep. I'll take over and drive. And then I'll have them drive maybe 4 or 5 hours. We'll get some rest. Then I'll drive, like that. And if I know we're going to be hitting some mountains with some descents, and they're going to be driving, I'll get up and I'll sit with them and I'll talk them through it. I also have an app on my phone that tells me how fast my truck's going. So if I know I can feel when my truck's going downhill. I can feel when we're going too fast. I can feel when we're taking a curve too fast. So those will be all kinds of things I talk to them about. So it depends on the student, depends on where we're at, and so forth. And once they get, you ever have a student make, or male or female, hit on you? Yes. But I shut that shit down real fast. I'm sorry. I look at my students like if they were one of my kids' friends or something like that. They're just, it's not even something that I never would consider. And I make sure they know that. But yes, I've had a few students hit on me. It just, that shit shut down, and it shut down hard. And we absolutely talk about that because it's a very professional atmosphere. I'm very kind to my students. Really nice to them. I cook on the truck. I offer them food. I've had, because I cook steak, I'll cook lobster, crab legs, all kinds of things. And I'm not going to just eat in front of a student. Does Prime hire company drivers? Okay, now what's going on with Prime and the company drivers? They're hiring only for teams. And they're not hiring a lot of company drivers because they're kind of phasing that out. They were at 40% company when I hired in and 60% lease. I started out as a company driver. Didn't last long as a company driver. I drove on Junior Honduras' fleet, which that's a great guy. Really nice guy. Really do like Junior Honduras, and I have a lot of respect for him. And, we had a little clash. A lot of it was from what other people were telling me, and that was my bad. I should have gone and talked to Junior about it, but I didn't. And if he's out there, I apologize. That was from me listening to other people. Good evening. Oh, hey, OTR Vic. How you doing, sweetheart? Good evening to you too, honey. So, that was my bad. So, I think that's a very, very knowledgeable man. But with the way they're changing things, like, if you have driven company for Prime, it used to be if you wanted to, like, hop on over to the other side and drive for a private fleet, because better money, better benefits than what Prime's paying, it used to be okay. But Prime's made it where you have to, when you hire on, you have to specifically say, I'm going to work for Junior, or I'm going to work for Lyle, and so forth. I don't think that's right, and I don't think it's fair. But it's more profitable for Prime. So, but Prime's a business, they're a company. And the new CEO has oh God, y'all, I'm having that. You guys ever hit that brain part where you know what you want to say, but you're having trouble putting it into words? But he has an obligation to Prime to make this company as profitable for Rob Lowe as he can. Personally, I think they're fixing to take the company public. They've never said anything about it, but I just think, that's where it's going. That's just my opinion. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Someone said I rock. Only the lonely. I love it when you think I rock. That's so sweet. Is Prime lease something like 85% weekly gross? Everything comes out of your pocket. Okay. The Prime lease, everyone's is different. Like, I'm on a purchase, but I put a bunch of money down. To lease a truck, you don't have to put anything down, but you don't own the truck at the end, but you do get an end-of-lease completion bonus. And one guy, he just got a $30,000 check at the end of his 3-year lease. So that's not bad. But I wanted to own the Pearl, and I put a bunch of money down, and I modified my truck. I've done all kinds of stuff to my truck you can't do otherwise. But you get 72% of your of what they. So if they pay $100 to have the load done, you get $72 of that. Prime keeps the rest. But that being said, Prime Logistics will negotiate the load. So let's say Prime Logistics negotiates it for we're going to use smaller number, $100, right? They sell it to Prime for 70 as a broker. They sell it to Prime for 70, and then you get 72% of that 70%, which is, you know, because that's what's in our contract. Now, they are two separate companies, but they're both owned by Rob Lowe. You see what I'm saying? So, that's my understanding of how that works. But it's all above board. It's all legal. There's nothing hidden. But a lot of people, they just don't look into what they're actually doing, what they're getting. It makes no sense for Rob Lowe or anyone else to do a driver dirty and pull some crap. Now, I know Swift used to pull a lot of shit back in the day, but not far as I know anymore. I've heard nothing but good things, and I'm anti-Swift. I can't stand Swift. But not now. It's a different story. I don't know enough about them to really, buy a truck and go to Landstar. Now, Rush Johnson went over to Landstar, and he's had nothing but wonderful things to say about them. But once my truck's paid for, I'm going into RV Transport. I'm not going to Landstar or anywhere else. 72% seems a bit low. You can choose your freight from load boards. Yeah, but you got to understand, those load boards, they're not paying worth a damn. A lot of their loads are under $1 a mile. Is that double brokering? No, it's not double brokering, because it's two separate companies. That's just it. It's two separate entities. It's like, also, this truck, I'm not buying through Prime. I'm buying this truck through Success Leasing, which is totally separate from Prime. The same guy, what Rob Lowe's brilliance is he sees where there's a need. He started priming, and he saw there was a need for a company that just goes out and finds freight. So instead of going to all these brokers, he started his own brokerage, and they have to be separate. Now, instead of he owns a Freightliner dealership also. But he set Success Leasing up differently. So if I left Prime, even though I owe on this truck, I can take my truck and go to any company. But because Prime has such a good infrastructure, which I'm sure Swift does too, and a lot of other companies do, I'm just saying, I like the security. Let's say something expensive happens to this truck. Prime will fix it, and I'll get to pay it out. So before I do leave Prime, and we get it for a huge damn discount. Rob Lowe, I think, is a billionaire. He is filthy rich, but he earned it. He was such a driver-centric owner, too. A lot of what's happening now is since Rob Lowe has stepped down from day-to-day managing the company, and that's why I think they're going public, because Rob Lowe would have never done a lot of the stuff going on now. Oh, I thought you were turning into Miss Pearl, turning into Pearl Engel. Yes, that was the plan, because I bought a pickup for going RV Transport, but then I got to thinking, and I'm just catching OTR up, because I didn't announce this until today. When I first was going over to Horizon, I said, what all do I need to have my truck? I'm going to go purchase a truck to go RV Transport. They told me a flatbed. So I did a cabin chassis, put a flatbed on, put thousands into this. And then I saw, oh no, you need to do a bed delete, which is around $7,000. with my, built-in tank, all that stuff. And I was like, that dog don't hunt. We're not doing that. So I got to thinking, okay, I had some other things come up, and I said, I'm not going to be able to do that until after the first of the year. Then I got to thinking, I'll be almost at my halfway point of having this truck paid for, this one. And then I thought, because I was hearing online how some of these brand new 24s are getting broke down, and they don't have the parts, and you're setting for months. I can't afford that. Then I got thinking, I don't want to be a one-truck person. So I decided, unless things are going to hell in a handbasket at Prime, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to get the Pearl paid off, because this is a palace. I mean, this truck is nice. We're sitting here at my dining room table. I can cook on this truck. Everything. This truck is huge. Gas mileage, hauling in a couple RVs on a flatbed or hauling it with my 1-ton is about the same. I might get a little better on this. So, you just have to weigh it out. But when this first gets paid off, if I still owe on my 1-ton dually, I'll probably stay at Prime just another few months, 4 or 5 months, and pay that dually off, or I might just go ahead and jump over there, because I should have a nice slush fund saved up, and start using this to haul. So that's my plan as of right now. But if I get where I'm having a bunch of minus weeks at Prime, and I'm only making like that 4 months ago with a student, I made $1,000 in a month, and I was paying my student around $1,400 a week. That dog don't hunt. Good luck getting that with those shitty mega carriers. Yep. Well, no, I'll be taking this big rig and hauling RVs. That's why I'm not going to Landstar. I'm not going to any other carriers. I'm just going to go haul RVs. Is freight picking? Freight has picked up a little at Prime. I'm going to be, before I take a student, because I'm thinking of doing another student, then I won't take one over the winter, because I'm done risking my life taking students over winter, and we're too slow. If I take another student, I'm going to take them after my home time. But I got to talk to my dispatcher. She's a straight shooter. She does not bullshit, not for Prime, not for anyone. She'll tell it like it is, period. Let me keep an eye on. Okay, yeah, I got another little bit. She'll tell you like it is and say, hey, it's worth taking a student between now, because if I pick up a student in a couple weeks, they've moved the miles down to 30,000, and I'll be done with them by November. And then if it goes okay, I might take another student in the spring and do 2 more, and that would be it. But most likely this student I take will be the last one. Another crappy thing, Prime doesn't pay the trainees, the trainer. Yes, absolutely. That's what I was saying. Sometimes my students were making more than me. They didn't used to. I mean, I used to have, a $5,000 take-home week, the next week $10,000, next week $6,000, following week 5, like that. I mean, I was making a lot of money. And then I was getting to where, and then they kept raising the students' pay. What Prime makes trainees pay? What? Okay, now, your minimum pay as a trainee at Prime is $900. But there was weeks that my students were making $1,400. Yes, indeed. Good decision. Pay your... Yes, because I love the Pearl, y'all. And I don't know how many of y'all have seen the Pearl on the road. She is gorgeous. But I get all the time people come up to... They recognize the Pearl before they recognize me. They'll see me get out and they go, you're Mother Trucker. And I was like, yes, I am. Well, we recognize you because of your truck. And I'm like, really? Because I don't wear makeup every day out. I wear it more than I used to since I got my facelift. But You know, for a while, when I first got into trucking, I came into it during COVID, and I just didn't care anymore. I had to close my company. The governor closed us down because we were non-essential. I had to give up the farm. My oldest child had just left home. My youngest left before my oldest son. My daughter left, who is my true oldest, and she left a while ago. Patrick, hey, so how is everything going? Everything's going great. Patrick, how are you doing, my dear? Hans, you should see India. She drives in high heels. Well, I'm sure she does when she's on YouTube. How can a student make more than 900 a week? How the student makes more than 900 a week is because that's a minimum. And that's if your student does not drive a full shift. That's based on how many miles they actually put in and how much time they put in. So my student gets paid for sleeping, an hourly wage. So if they've driven more hours, they get paid plus an extra couple hours for sleeping, and I've paid up to $1,400 in a deal. And when I was in TNT, I was getting $700 a week. So they make double what I made. She has a sweet yellow long-nosed Pete. Well, that's awesome. You know, and I honestly, it was between a Volvo and a Peterbilt. But when I found out Prime wasn't going to be getting more Volvos in, which they did, they lied. And it was the first year you could buy one of these. Now they have the Murphy bed that folds down with the table. And child, if they would have had that and an electronic dash, I'd have been all over that like a dirty hooker on a John's dollar. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Because that truck's nice, and I would have taken the up top, put cabinets in it, all that stuff. It would have... Oh, it's so nice. But the way this table's up all the time. But when I have a student, you know, you can't do that. So it is what it is. Let's see. What do we got in comments? Hey, can y'all all hit that thumbs up button? And if you guys haven't liked or subscribed, you know, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell button where you can get notified when we have new deals coming. Question. Do company trainers pay? No, company trainers do not pay. Prime does. Need a good recommendation for a headset. Aftershocks. Aftershocks, there, just a second, let me grab it real quick. Oh. Where is it? Huh. Pull this one up there. Okay, guys. These are Aftershocks, and they are bone vibration headsets. You don't even feel them. I don't know what I did with my other pair. I'm going to be upset. I keep 2 pairs on my truck, and what you do is you just come, you put them on, and they hook on the outside of your ear, and you cannot believe the quality of sound you get through these. And when people talk to you, it feels like you're in the same room with them, and they say the same thing. They're very light. I often forget I have them on, and I crawl in bed, and I'm like, oh, crap. So, I love these things. Aftershocks are the best, and I've got to figure out what I have done with my other pair. Because, you know, I'm one of those, if I lose one of my pairs, I'm buying another one that day. I don't go without them. I love them. I listen to my ebooks through them and everything like that. They are the very best headset. They beat those pairs, all them heavy-duty headsets. I'm sorry, those damn things give me headaches. And I have tiny ears, so if something's in my ear, it bothers it. But this just sets around it. It's real light. It doesn't tangle in your hair. You know, I'm sure not all y'all have long hair, but I do. Oh, shoot, I had some jackass the other day. Y'all, I just talk so bad, don't I? I just tell y'all anything and everything. Willie's not cool to hit women. Who said something? Willie, you better not be telling me, Tracy, my wife, to have me yet, to leave me. Yes, I smack her around, but she deserves it. Willie, honey, you're a piece of shit. You hit your wife, you dumb, low-life motherfucker. You are a low-life sack of shit. I don't know. No, she needs to leave you. Leave him. He's a piece of shit. There's a lot better men out there. He's a coward. He's a punk bitch. Willie, you are a punk bitch. You are a punk bitch. That's what the fuck you are, you sorry sack of shit. Any man that hits a woman is a piece of shit. And you, Mr. Little Willie, are a piece of sorry shit. You should not ever hit a woman for any damn reason. You're a coward and you're a fucking punk bitch. Willie is a punk bitch. Willie, you are a punk bitch. So any of you guys, wherever Willie's cowardly fucking ass is, where his pub is, you're ever in there, you need to go in there and beat his ass and show him what a real man is. He is a punk bitch. Willie, say it. Say it. You're a punk bitch. You're a cunt. Hitting a woman. You are a total fucking cunt. You make all men look bad. Men like you are lowlives. There are so many good men out there that would fuck your wife right. Trust me, they would give her the fucking of her life. You are not capable of it because you are an abusive bitch. Your wife needs to find a guy who will lay it to her right, or even a good lesbian, you sorry motherfucker. How dare you hit your wife and talk about it like it's nothing. You are a punk bitch, Willie's pub. So if I've heard he's got a channel or something. I cannot believe people watch that punk bitch who hits his wife. You are a punk. A punk. Your wife needs to go out and find a man that will treat her right, that knows how to treat a lady. And honey, if you're watching this later, he's probably not letting you watch it right now because he's a punk bitch. Trust me. You're better off on your own. There are so many men out there that will treat you right, that know how to eat pussy, which I'm sure he is a pussy, so you'd think he is what he eats, but you know, he's a, Willie, you a cunt, honey, you a cunt. You just a cunt, baby. You have her locked in. Oh, you have her locked in. Oh, you have her locked in a room. Well, that's good. You know, I think a lot of people on YouTube know where your bar is. You've just admitted to kidnapping and falsely imprisoning someone and domestic violence. Boy, I just would love to see the police come to your door, arrest your punk bitch ass, because you is a bitch, and let some good man come up there, lay it to your wife like she ain't never had it before she stayed with your sorry ass. You'd be lucky if you don't end up meeting some Ronda Rousey type bitch that beats your ass, because I'm sure many women have beaten your sorry bitch ass. I feel for your wife. She needs to leave you. I will hook her up. I will introduce her to a real man. I know lots of good men. Oh yeah. You a bitch, Willie. Willie is a troll. In fact, you know, let's take this platform away from Willie. But Willie, we all think you're a real cunt and we think you're a real bitch. We don't like you. And guess what we're going to do? We are going to hide you from this channel. Now, Willie, you can no longer comment on my channel or anything. You can, you'll think you're commenting, but none of us will have to look at it. But Willie, you're a bitch. And I will always tell your wife she should leave you. And, oh, she just needs to meet the right guy. She does. And just think, when you're sitting in jail, she'll be sucking another man's dick. She'll be taking it from another man because she wants a real man to fuck her. You know, like a woman needs, we need a real guy who knows how to lay that pipe to lay it to us. And Willie, you just nothing but a cunt. I bet you just wish you could say something back to me, but guess what? You're too much of a bitch. You can't. You little cunt. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. I didn't mean to, but I cannot stand a snatch like Willie who thinks it's okay to hit a woman. Tracy Rodeo, he is a good, Tracy Rancho is a good woman. It's so sad to see what she is going through. Steve, I'm disabled, but I know how to treat a lady. Exactly, Brad, something you have sometimes. Well, Brad, when some guy comes, this woman has been on my channel before, his wife, begging for help. He beats her, and it's even been on YouTube, him beating her. Threatens her. She's terrified. And I told him to leave him. He came on here, tell me not to tell his wife she needs to leave him and stuff like that. And yeah, he beats her, but she deserves it. What? Honey, I'm going to say what I feel. And I'll put it out and let him know the low-life little bitch that he is. But I'm sorry for all y'all who got a little offended. But he's a sorry piece of junk if he's going to beat on his wife. Brad, are you the Brad from Dooley Depot? No, most men, real men, would never beat a woman. Oh, awesome, Brad. We had a lot of... Okay, guys, this is Brad from Dooley Depot. The one that was a truck driver. And that turned around and was also delivered RVs, did the RV hauling. He also helps set up the trucks. The company he works for also has financing if you need for setting up your trucks. Brad, they were on here earlier in the live. I had a lot of people on here wanting to ask you questions about RV transport. And I tried to get a hold of you. I was just going to put you on speaker, and you could also read questions on your deal. And they had a lot of questions for you about the trucks, about RV transport, about companies. And I told them next week I would try to set it up from my truck where we can talk and they can ask you questions to do with setting their trucks up, where you're located. Also to do with what is RV transport like. They want to talk to someone in it. So anyway, yeah, I was really wanting to let them talk to you. Sorry you came in on my rant, but that's lowlife Willie come on here getting all pissy with me for telling him his wife should leave. I'm sorry. No woman should ever have to put up with a man beating her. And this man has no shame. No shame about it. He has smacked her on his YouTube channel. He just... And then to come on here saying she deserves it sometimes? Are you kidding? I'm sorry. My ex-husband used to beat my ass. Never should a woman ever have to be abused. Ever. This is not normally how we talk on my lives. We don't normally go off on rants with this, and I'm not normally that demeaning to someone. Yo, here are several RV transport companies in Elkhart County. Hey, Brad, how about if I call you real quick and you can just answer, you can read the questions and you can answer people if you're up to it, or we can set that up for next week, or you can come on next week too. That way they can hear you. And anyone wants to ask Brad a question. Hey Brad, how are you doing?
Good.
Okay guys, this is Brad on the phone. You might want to turn your volume down on your end, Brad.
I'm going to do that now. There, it might be better for you.
Okay, Brad. Can you tell the people out here in the RV transport industry, what is your background? You were a truck driver, a big rigs, and owned a few before you got into RV transport. Am I right?
I did. I spent most of my time in the safety end of it and in semis, not training, but as a trainee many years ago, back in the late 70s, early 80s. So now I've came into the office. I've spent most of my time in an office mainly, and started a company for one of the companies here, Horizon Transport. Started CWRV Transport for all the Camping World business.
Okay, so it was another RV transport company. Is that what brought you into the industry?
Well, I got in through a friend of mine back in 2002, and I retired, semi-retired in 2020. So I'm just working a dually depot 3 days a week, Monday through Wednesday. We do an awful lot of business up there. We have new trucks coming in, getting whether it be just the necessities, the essentials, or additional luxury items, we'll call them fuel tanks,
Yeah.
more expensive things. But I did a lot of accident investigation, reconstruction, did a lot of death cases in my days too. So,
Let me see. OTR Vic, is Indiana Transport a good company for pulling RVs? What do you think,
yeah,
Brad?
they are a good company. We outfit just about every Indiana Transport truck that comes in because we're very close to them. Probably 10 minutes away.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Now, I was telling them that your company also, let's say they have a 1-ton dually, they're just getting into it, they're tight on funds, that they can come into you if they're hauling singles and get fitted out and possibly get it financed.
Absolutely, they can. We have an option for that. It's very good. All they have to do is call us. We do an estimate over the phone and send an estimate by email, and then you know exactly what amount you need to finance. And we would just simply fill out a form online and send it to your email address for you to complete.
Awesome.
Very simple, and it's very quick to get the answers you need as far as financing inquiries. They're very good about that.
And understand this, guys. Now, if you're going to do multiples, they do not do bed deletes. But Brad knows people. He's been in the industry a long time. He knows people that he can set you up on the bed delete part to do certain parts, and then you can still come over and get the rest of your deal financed through him. And they can finish your truck. Because they're going to have great prices. This is what they specialize in. So, Brad, if you were just coming into RV transport, what companies would you recommend? What's the pros and cons of the different companies?
Well, I always tell people, visit the website for those companies. There's probably 30 RV transport companies in the Elkhart County area. And you want to research to see which one best fits your scenario, where you live, where they dispatch to, and maybe where you're home more often. And that's really the best way to do it. I mean, there's so many companies out here that,
Do you want to explain the difference between these to these people?
Yeah, single hauling would be having one pickup truck towing one RV at a time, whether it be a travel trailer or a tow behind unit or a fifth wheel. And the multi-haul division would be having either a 2-car trailer or a 3-car trailer, in which you could not only just haul the RVs out, but you might be able to haul a car back or some general freight or something to keep you loaded more often, because the downfall, or the pros are good, but to answer your question, the con would probably be there's a lot of empty miles. These RVs are like cars. They go out and they're delivered and they'll go back to the factory, so there's not really any returns. One of the nicest things, or a couple of the nicest things about RV transport is your truck is registered at 26,000 pounds. That makes you non-IFTA. And also there's an exemption for the ELDs in the RV industry, that if you have the unit you're towing or the motorhome you're driving, as long as it has one set of wheels touching the surface of the road, you are ELD exempt. So a lot of companies will tell you they have backhauls or return trips, and you find out it's a flatbed or a gooseneck horse trailer or a boat that does not fall under the ELD exception. So you gotta be careful. Now there's one company up here that does a lot of Camping World, that would be Wave Express. They moved Wave to Camping World. I've known Mark Simonis, the CEO of Camping World. He likes to keep all their RV dealerships nationwide as full with as many different types of trailer inventory, motorhome inventory. So they actually transfer a lot of motorhomes and trailers between stores, probably more trailers than motorhomes. So you have a lot of chances you might have to pick up, or I should say, a delivery in Texas, and there might be 10 units they want to take up to Memphis, help get paid, partially paid back to Indiana, or maybe back towards your home. So that's a nice thing. Wave Express is very good about that. I met with them this week, actually. I was over
Where all does Wave Express go? Do they go to Alaska, Canada, all that stuff? I know some companies do, some don't.
Yeah, CWRV Transport was just Camping World elevated to go to Canada or to Alaska. There were no dealerships outside the United States for Camping World, so no. That's probably not a good one to go to if you're looking to go to Canada, I should say. Yeah.
Canada, Alaska, stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of Camping Worlds, and there's nothing in Canada or Alaska, so. But you can go up into, way up east, northeast of Maine, and the Yukon, and Nova Scotia. If you like to go that far east.
Well, one of the things I was looking at was, and the reason I was looking at Horizon is they go all the way to Alaska, and I lived in Alaska and North Pole for 8 years. And they pay good. Now, what would you say is the top 5 companies for drive away, tow away? And I heard also, and one thing I found out when I was applying at Horizon, they have a semi division. If you have a semi.
Yeah, they do. And Bennett does the same thing. There's a company called Bennett that's based in Middlebury, Indiana. And they're a very first company. They do driveway, towaway. There's another division called Haul and Tow, where you have a truck similar to a tow truck. You know, what do you call it? There's just like a flatbed behind your truck, and you would actually haul one on the bed and tow one behind.
Yes.
So like a rollback tow truck, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's nice too. You'll be able to do 2 at a time. And not be 70 feet long or 65 feet long, you know. So you're not, and then, when you're done, all you have is your flatbed, and then you can haul something else on that as a return or a reload type of trip.
Now, I heard that on their semi deal that they refit these trucks to haul shorter trailers, like 25, 30-foot trailers, where you can do doubles without having to put one up on your truck.
Yes, yeah, they sure do. A lot of the travel trailers, there's some out there that are only the 2-inch ball size trailers. The most common and useful ones that we see are the 2 5/16 ball trailers. So a 2-inch ball trailer is typically going to be 17 to maybe 21, 22 feet long.
Well, I was talking about on the semis. Like, if I took the Pearl, my truck, and used this for RV hauling and went to Indiana, not Indiana, but Horizon, because they have that division there where you can have a big rig and get a trailer and hook to this. You don't have to have that 43-foot 43-foot trailer, 53-foot trailer. You can get a shorter, lease a shorter trailer, and that fabrication place will fix the back of your truck where you could either haul a bumper pole, you can haul a fifth wheel, or you can haul a smaller, have a smaller deck trailer and just haul two travel trailers at once.
Yes, you would have to have a winch and probably a dovetail trailer to get them up onto the bed and secure them with straps, you know.
Yeah, well, they have that with the pickups. Those trailers have winches too.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, there is so many options, because a lot of truckers, they're like, man, I want to use my semi to do this, but you know, I'm like, well, I found out you can at Horizon. You know, I'm not quite sure how different that is from the pickup multi-haul. As far as financially, do you know?
Say that again.
How different is it from, okay, let's say someone wants to bring in their semi instead of their 1 or 2 ton truck
Yep.
and go to work. Let's just use Horizon because I know they do that. How much different is it, or harder is it to come on with a big rig than a 1 ton truck?
Really not any harder other than the fact now you're going to be, obviously you're going to be IFTA.
Yeah, well, in multi-haul they make you IFTA anyway.
Yeah, you would, because your truck would be registered for probably 33 or 35,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, it's 26,000.
And would you just come on with bobtail insurance, or?
Yeah.
Because you'll run under their authority, correct?
Yeah, you would. Now it's called, what's a new word for it?
Oh, they got a new word for it now?
It's not non-trucking or bobtail. It's called what is it called? I can't think of the term. But anyway, can't think of the term you call it. Yeah, maybe I'll think of it here in a minute.
So,
but you know, Mama said she heard somewhere where RV transport companies pay $2.50 per mile on trips over 1,500. Well, a lot of them will pay a little more going into Canada, and of course
Alaska. Yeah.
But the $2.50 a mile is probably going to be something with about 3 trailers on a flatbed, a 53-foot flatbed, like a Shipshawana trailer. They call it.
Well, Horizon, it's $2.65 a mile for doubles for 2 trailers minimum, and it's $3 for 3. Which to me, I'd rather keep my 30 cent, let them have their 30 cents, and do 2 for $2.65, because it just doesn't make financial sense to me, or the headache to load that extra one on there.
Exactly. And you know the nice thing about this, typically you go to work for a truck company, say, okay, well, fuel went up, you're going to get a fuel surcharge, right? Well, Horizon doesn't do that. You get paid more per mile, so nobody can take part of that fuel surcharge. No company or broker deserves a part of the fuel surcharge because
of the driver, because they don't have the skin in the game.
They're not taking responsibility for the fuel. They shouldn't have any part of that fuel surcharge.
Yeah.
Brokers sometimes will do that. You know,
yeah, Prime does that. Yeah, you don't get your full deal. But now, what about fuel discounts?
Yep, fuel discounts. You either have a Comdata card or an EFS card, it's a MasterCard, and then you also have your some states that still offer the exempt prices at the pump. And,
awesome.
Of course, you have an extra fuel tank in your truck. That's going to save you a ton. Not having to buy fuel in certain states that are higher priced. And
absolutely.
And then you have no fuel tax to worry about because you didn't buy any fuel for 1 quarter of the month. So that's a bonus there, a big bonus.
Yeah. Yo-Yo Ma. Yeah, you can get fuel cards for yourself, but a lot of these large companies like Horizon and Wave and they get a lot bigger fuel discounts than we can get on our own, because and same with Prime, because they have a whole fleet that's buying it, and these companies give them bigger discounts. Like, I'm not sure for Prime, they're number 1 right now, got the biggest contract with loves travel stops. And our secondary is TA and pilot. And Swift might have someone else. Horizon might have someone else. I'm not sure who Horizons is with. But on their app, it shows the lowest spots, and it'll have a little green deal on there showing which one gives you the biggest discount nearest you. So that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, a lot of companies have self-dispatch. They have a load board on the app. They download an app. You can see all the loads. Some of them you can just book yourself.
I think Wave Express and Horizon both have is self-dispatch, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. The only difference is you have to realize Horizon can self-dispatch the reloads because they share the reload board. Horizon Wave share a reload board. Wave cannot self-dispatch for reloads, but Horizon can. So Wave drivers can see something on the board. They deliver on a Sunday or a Saturday at a Camping World, and then they'll say, I'll just stay here until Monday morning, get that load and haul back toward my house. Monday morning comes and it's gone. And they found out that a Horizon driver actually
grabbed it.
Self-dispatched it.
Yeah, and see, stuff like that's important to know, but your back loads don't pay near as well as your primary load going out.
Well, that's true to a certain point, but with Camping World, those rates are the same, pretty much the same as the outbound rate from Indiana when they're doing these transfers from one dealership to another.
Did you catch that Yo-Yo Ma was saying they looked at Wave Express and no drive-aways? What have you heard about that? Didn't they used to do drive-away?
No, Wave does not. Horizon does.
Horizon does drive-away.
Bennett has drive-away.
Bennett.
Foremost has drive-away.
Who would you say is the best in the drive-away division? Like, what company has the best? Like, some are best for multi-haul, some are best for single-haul. Who's the best for drive-away? Give me the top two.
Well, drive-away's pretty good. I mean, with Horizon, if you're doing flatbeds, like you were looking at, then, they have just a separate company, no, not a separate company, separate location in Elkhart that they actually work directly with the drivers on the reloads. They help them stay loaded more often. I don't know if the other companies have anybody on board like that to keep the drivers loaded, but many companies will allow you to find your own freight. They'll pay you up to 80% of what that load pays.
Oh, as far as backhauls?
Yeah, the company will keep 20% because they have to do another branch report, a credit report.
Yeah, you're going under their authority.
Yeah, right. You're under their authority and insurance at that point. So,
yeah, that's understandable. So, yeah, but if I were someone out there without a CDL and I'm just wanting to do drive-away where I go, tail cart, get my little tow car, go behind it, hook up, who is the best, has the best drive-away division, the top two, that you would recommend for drive-away if someone's wanting to make a living doing it, but they don't own a truck or anything, they just want to do drive-away?
Sure. Bennett is very good about that.
Bennett?
They're very versatile. They have a lot of companies that they work, that they transport freight for, and I think Quality is a good one also. Actually, Quality Driveway. They're in Goshen, Indiana. And Horizon does that too, obviously. I know a lot of people over there. I was just going to go there next week to see some on Tuesday. See Horizon myself.
Now, a friend of mine who did drive-away, she actually slept in the vehicle. She didn't sleep on the bed. She always took a roll with her and slept.
Yeah, they don't like you sleeping in the trailers, but the motorhomes are a little bit different because sometimes you don't have a tow car where you're going to sleep unless you get a motel.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a little secret here. If you have a non-CDL and you won't be able to do the big diesel pushers, you'll be doing these small Class C gas motorhomes on Ford chassis or Mercedes chassis.
Yeah, or Sprinter vans, stuff like that.
You have a lot. You're going to get better mileage, and you're only going to make a little bit more per mile if you have a Class A CDL on, and all you're going to get are probably the big units. They're going to make sure the CDLA drivers get all those big units because the non-CDLs cannot move them. They need Class A CDL drivers. So those guys are spending a lot more on fuel. They're getting 7 miles a gallon versus 12 or 13 in a Class C motorhome.
Yeah.
But the bad part is they're not getting any rewards at the truck stops for free showers and things either. You know?
That's true.
So, yeah.
That's what if you're only driving Class C's or Class B's or vans, you can spend $11 a month at Planet Fitness and get into their lots and take showers and work out.
Oh, there you go. That's a good thought.
And that's the reason. I've been thinking about, because by the time because I told you I had to rearrange some things, right? Remember? Okay, and I'm not talking about that on here, but by the time I'm ready again to fit out that truck, this truck will be halfway paid for, this big rig. And I'm thinking, because I only got 125,000 miles on this truck.
Wow.
And I thought, I might just pay this truck off in less than 2 years. It'll be paid for. Less than 2 years. And bring both my trucks over and have a backup truck. Because I'm thinking I don't want to rip the bed off that and do a bed delete if I don't have to. Because that kills me on using that thing for personal use.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Anytime you make the truck look anything other than private, you'll probably get harassed more at the scales and stop more at the scales for more intense inspections.
Yeah, and also, you don't get those inspections like that when you're driving a big rig, though. I hardly ever. I've had a couple inspections in my trucks. And of course, one was where they pulled me in for a random. I've only been pulled in for 3 randoms in all my years. They pulled me in for 1 random, and back on your tandems, one of my little deals was 3/4 out, and it wasn't. He said it wasn't totally out.
Okay.
And
yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I couldn't believe it. I said, "Are you serious? Is that a thing?"
Yeah, the pin on your sliding, your tail.
Yeah.
Mom asked a question on here too. For driveway, you pay the fuel. That's always the driver's expense or the contractor's expense.
Yeah, you're a 1099. All these companies are 1099.
Companies will not pay your fuel unless you're a company driver. We have company drivers up here in the RV industry. Except, there's also shuttle work. You're picking up trailers 24 hours a day up here. You're not going into the factories. They have shuttle drivers picking up at the factories and parking them in remote lots for the over-the-road drivers to come in after hours to pick up and weekends to pick up. So you're not having any layovers here unless you're doing a 34-hour restart or something like that. But
It's like doing intermodal work.
What's that?
It's like doing intermodal work, local.
Yeah, it is. It's like doing shuttle work from a pier to someplace. I mean, yeah, just off.
Now, are those 1099 positions, or are those company positions, W-2?
The shuttles,
Yeah.
they're all owner operators. They're independent, so it's still a 1099.
Okay.
Yeah.
But those don't pay real well, do they? As far as I know.
Yeah. Shuttle drivers make excellent money. They can make $400 or $500 a day. But the problem with shuttle work is your truck is going to get beat up a lot. It's going to be very, very hard on the maintenance of the truck with all the yards going in and out of, stop and go. Some are pretty runny. Parking lots are not all smooth and paved, So it can be rough on a truck, high maintenance.
But if you're pulling singles, that wouldn't be a bad thing, though, because except for, like you said, the maintenance, because $400 or $500 a day and home every night, that's kind of a sweet gig.
It is. A lot of guys love that. Yeah, they do. I know a lot of shuttle drivers.
But then you're living in Indiana. I know you live there. I got family in Indiana, trust. But, I love my place in Arizona. I love my place in Florida. And my third place is probably going to be in Alaska. But, not fancy places. They're just small places. But I'm kind of into that whole homesteading thing, I'd rather have a bunch of little places, 3 little places than one big fancy place.
Okay.
You know, because I'm kind of a gypsy nomad. I'm really into the RV life, things like that. As long as it isn't in
Well,
Gary. I don't know if
probably.
it's in Gary, Indiana or not. I don't think so. I think it's in Elkhart area, the shuttle drivers.
Okay.
Where are the shuttle driver jobs there, Brad?
Here in Elkhart.
Elkhart,
Yeah.
Indiana area.
Yes.
Um,
80% of the world's RVs are built in Elkhart County, Indiana.
now,
And
Winnebago.
72%.
Winnebago's not, is it?
No, they're out in Iowa, Forest City, Iowa.
Who hauls for Winnebago?
Wally does Winnebago, so they'll pick them up out there. Horizon has done it. Yeah, they pick up in Forest City, Iowa, out in the middle of nowhere. I think it's up there, north central, northeastern Iowa.
Yeah, I heard that about it, Winnebago. I always wondered who. So, Horizon has a yard out there then, most likely.
No, they don't. I don't think they do, as far as I know. I still have some friends that drive for Horizon. One of my good friends used to drive for Horizon. I talk to him fairly often. And he's hauled a lot of the Winnebagos out of Forest City, Iowa.
Now, you used to be a recruiter for these companies, right?
I did. I ran a recruiting department for Horizon and also for CWRV Transport, which is the camper business.
Okay,
I
so
started in 2013 and then also for Wave Express.
so what might, if one of these gentlemen or ladies out here are wanting to come into Horizon or one of these companies, what are they looking for in a driver?
Well, everyone has different requirements. Some will allow, they'll have certain ages on drivers or certain ages on trucks. Most companies that are good companies that are going to pay well, they're not the gypsy fly-by-night carriers, are going to do thorough background checks on the driver.
Oh, yeah.
PSP report, RV report, that's probably very smart of them to do that because we always did that. All three of the companies I work for in the industry, which is pretty much one and the same. They were three different companies all owned by the owner for Horizon Transport. They were very keen and dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's to make sure they got the good quality drivers. I don't really think there's a shortage of drivers in the country. I think there's a shortage of good companies out there.
Yeah. Prime is one of those that is really hard to get on, and they'll fire you in a second for little BS, so I hear Horizons like that. They're harder to get on at, and that they will de-leash you in a second for stupidity, which is a good thing, as far as I see, because it keeps the riffraff out and gets quality drivers more loads. Let me see. Brad, like to get with you. Okay, Yo-Yo's like, Brad, like to get with you. Looking for a company. Hiring for drive away. And have... Oh, you have a CDL? Okay. Now, what is the difference in income level for drive away versus tow away?
I can't remember what the prices were, but about 3.5 years ago, this hauling one RV was over $2 a mile. It's like $2.25, $2.35, $2.40 a mile when fuel was really high. And these companies, they look at the average price of fuel every month, and they adjust the rate after they see the trend here spiraling up or spiraling down. So it probably takes a month if the price of fuel goes up before you start seeing a reflection in that per mile pay. And it probably takes a little less time when it comes down before they start losing money or they're paying you less per mile. But so most companies want to pay well.
Well, I'm talking like if you just don't want to bring your own vehicle, you want to bring a tow vehicle, like a little car behind. So if you're wanting to drive like a Class A or Class C and deliver it, as opposed to you got a 1-ton dually and you're hauling fifth wheels and stuff like that, there's a pretty big difference in pay, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. There's a big difference in pay. Yeah.
So, using your own vehicle, you make more money if you're hauling a fifth wheel or a travel trailers, correct?
Yeah. Yes. And in the driveway division, every company up here requires that car or Jeep, whatever you have, to be flat towed. You cannot use a dolly.
Yeah.
Must be flat towed, and they should not weigh more than 3,500 pounds.
So a nice little minivan or something.
We outfit the vehicles too. They call them dinghies. That's what they call the tow cars, dinghies.
Oh, okay.
We can outfit them with the tow bars they need. Even some of the drivers and husband wives, they both have a truck and they'll deliver to the same place and they'll tow one of the trucks back with the other truck and not have to pay 2 fuel bills.
I met some people at Synergy, a Mennonite couple that did that.
Mm-hmm. Not uncommon at all.
Huh?
It's not uncommon at all.
Yeah, I was shocked because I go, oh, you guys both drive for the same company. They go, we're husband and wife, and they just follow each other. They tow the trailers out, and then they hook up the one truck and then tow it home, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then another friend of mine, couple, and they're also YouTubers, they turned around and he did the tow away and she did the drive away. And they would get loads going to the same area, and then she would hop into his truck and go from there.
Yep, and as long as she's a towaway contractor for the company, she can help drive back as well.
Yeah.
You're bound to that, without a sleeper, you're bound to that 11-hour or 14-hour day, and then you have to have the truck sit for 10 hours. For both of you to get your 10-hour or your 14-hour, start again the next day.
Yeah.
That's a little downfall, but at least you're not paying for 2 fuel bills coming back that week.
Right.
You only have one maintenance truck. You don't have 2 trucks to maintain now, just one. It's a towaway driving combination. So yeah, as far as some of the companies have issues with California drivers, I don't think Horizon even hires California drivers anymore or contractors.
No, a lot of them don't. California is.
As far as trying to get with Neo, I know that this mother trucker has my phone number. Unless she has yours.
No, I don't. But we will get together and we will get his number out. Right now though, I got to get this load delivered. The time has got away from me, so I got to get moving, guys. So thank you, Brad. I will have Brad on again, guys. Don't worry. And Brad, I will talk to you later, my friend. Okay.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye, sweetheart.
Have a nice night. Sleep well.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.